So I'll begin the introduction of everybody. So I'll start with myself. My name is Michael. I'm a math major. Um, I'm here in communications because it's a general ed class and it's gonna help me in my ultimate career goal of becoming a math teacher. Um, Being in group settings like this is pretty beneficial. Lay it off to Danny. You can go next.
Hi everyone, I'm Danny. I'm in this class because I want to eventually be a nurse. And I think it's been like super helpful and I've learned a lot. All right, Kiana, do you want to go now?
Yep. Okay. I'm Kiana. I am majoring in philosophy. Right now, this class is helping my career goal because I eventually want to go into education, and communication is very important if you want to go into education. And so I think it is helping me to reach my goal.
Okay, I guess I could go next. Hi, I'm Devin, and right now my major is undecided, and I'm taking communications because it's a general ed class. And yeah, I'll just pass it off to Naya.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Naya. I'm taking communications because it's part of my general education for being a nurse. So yeah, I think it's pretty helpful as well since it's a prereq.
And now for our audience members, just a quick little, hey, how's it going?
Hello.
We got Karen, Kim, Giselle, and who else here?
Teresa.
Teresa, awesome. Well, welcome to our presentation. We should kind of get started. Let's see, should we pull up the slideshow, Danny?
Yes, let me just share my screen real quick.
Sounds good.
Sorry, it's like taking me 1 minute.
No worries.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we still see it? Just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
All right. So beginning with the question, what is guided pathways? From the document attached to our assignment, it's an experimental approach to community college that seeks to make the path to graduation or certification as clear and concise as possible, just to ensure that students will graduate on time. And the importance of it is that students will often struggle to carve out their own path and are under what they call a paradox of choice, meaning that there's sort of a huge umbrella of things that they don't know what to pick from. And pathways, guided pathways, has the ultimate goal of making sure that from the start, the process of gaining that degree or certificate is as smooth as possible. And the importance will really be in the fact that when everything's combined, students are more confident and more likely to succeed.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so more on that. What are guided pathways? Guided pathways are put in place to assist students in their college goals and to essentially help them with anything that has to do with their courses. And also the principles for guided pathways include clarifying the path, entering the path, staying on the path, and ensuring learning. All of these principles are here to make sure that students stay on track and are monitoring their college process.
Great. And then we're missing a group member, so I can just take this one. Guided pathways is important just because it ensures that college students kind of get to where they want to be. And it kind of provides like a more streamlined approach. So it's easier to like select classes and stay in school. So I think that's why it's important, just because it helps students like achieve their goals. And then just to give you a little preview, we're all going to be going through and giving just like a little overview of our experiences as students. And we're going to be talking about our career goals and then the educational resources that kind of helped us achieve those goals or helping us achieve those goals. And then we'll also give like any feedback for any resources that could be offered that we think might be helpful.
So I'll begin with giving my experience. My ultimate career goal is I want to become a math professor at the college or higher high school level. I want to teach calculus or something like that. How I got there was actually by having teachers and professors within math that wanted to extend an extra helping hand. Some of the professors I've had really left a mark and gave me career advice that's pretty invaluable, very important to just figuring out where I wanted to be. And some of the challenges I've experienced were I had to restart my education due to dropping out of high school, and something like that will kind of stick with you for a while. So my understanding of academic navigation is next to none. And as a result, I need sort of paths like this, carved out programs like this. So personally, I feel like these challenges assist in taking the classes a little more seriously because you have to try a little harder. And connecting this to the overall topic, students like myself and people in even more difficult situations will often need an extra push and extra guidance when they're re-entering school. And because college leaves you so independent, the issue really is just being unfamiliar half of the time. So finding guidance from professors, counselors, or seeking out programs like this can really help, even if you don't have any of these underlying like issues at the beginning. Still, just being able to get through the sort of cloud going on there is really helpful. And teachers, counselors, and programs like Guided Pathways that want to change the structure will really make that easier.
Thanks, Michael.
Of course.
Okay. Yes. So for me, I mentioned I eventually want to be a nurse. That's kind of my career goal and what I'm working towards. And I feel like I decided on this path kind of through like not trial and error, but I had like a bunch of different work experience, and like I kind of learned what I was looking for in a job and what I didn't want in a job. So I think that was really helpful. And I went to Cal Poly for my bachelor's degree, and they had like a roadmap that was super helpful for me. Like every quarter, you would get like a list of like classes that you could take for the following quarter and like how it would apply to your like overall degree progress. So I think it was like super helpful just to know like exactly where I was and like have kind of like a scaffolded support system. So I think that Guided Pathways is like definitely a good idea and something that they should try to implement. Besides that, I feel like I didn't have like much support. Like we didn't really have a lot of academic advising or anything like that. And it was sometimes really hard to get into certain classes. So those are some challenges that I faced at my previous university. But at West, I haven't been here too long, so I'm not entirely sure like if I can elaborate on resources that can be offered here, but I think one of my group mates can. So we'll see. Okay, Jason isn't here, so we'll move along to Kiana.
Okay, so my career goal would be to be a teacher. I think I want to start off with like elementary grades because I kind of like the molding of young minds, but I feel like as I get older, I'll have a lot less patience. So I would end up going to high school or maybe even like going back to school, getting my master's and then teaching at a college level. That would be fun. I decided my major, when I first got to West, I was undecided. And so I was kind of just taking random classes. And so I decided to take a philosophy course. And I had Professor Mayak, and he was just like really cool. And I didn't know that I could major in philosophy, but he was just like talking to me one day and asking me why I wasn't a philosophy major because I was so like into the class. And so after looking it up and realizing the many different career opportunities I could do, just that major, that's how I decided. And I really enjoy like just thinking and writing. So it's like right up my alley. I do have a clear roadmap of my courses. One thing that is really helpful, you can go see a counselor and they can make you an education. And it's basically they take your major and they take like all of any other classes. I went to another college for one semester. So they take the classes that I took from there and then they map out the rest of your time at West, like by semester. So that was extremely helpful because I didn't even have to think about what classes I should take or like worry about forgetting something that I might need it. Like all my classes were just completely mapped out. Some of the challenges that I faced, like obviously COVID, because I had like so much going on in my personal life and like I ended up having to move and like things like that, I had to take a semester off from college. So that like put me a semester behind. So that was pretty annoying. But other than that, like my time here at West, due to the resources they have, it's pretty helpful. And another problem was with me being an undecided major, I was kind of just taking random classes. So when I decided on a major, I had some classes that were like not really applicable towards my current major, which brings me to my next point about the meta majors, which are now, they're trying to implement in college, like say you're a health major. So instead of like having to pick one avenue of health and continue along that, you would just be a general health major. So that way, if you wanted to go from nursing to dental, it'd be an easy transition as opposed to adding semesters or like years to your college experience. And so I think a good name for that program would be possibly like pyramid programs or pyramid pathways, because you'd be able to see at the top of the pyramid what your like general major would be, and then underneath you'd be able to see like all the possibilities that you could change to, or et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so I did How Did You Decide Your Career and Educational Goal? And I feel like I decided my career by picking out my interests and what I like to do and what I'm interested in. And one of them being I like to help people, which is why I chose nursing. And I feel like during the pandemic, it definitely showed me that nurses are really needed, especially with COVID. So I want to get my bachelor's in that and graduate as an RN. These are like very important fields, especially for hospitals and traveling nurses and stuff, for those who need medical attention. So yeah, I think that's why I chose that as my career and educational goal.
Thank you. All right, now we'll move along to the audience participation part.
Okay, hi. So to our audience members, if like each person could maybe share their thoughts of maybe one person's story or one thing that one of us brought up. You don't have to remember anyone's name, but just like something that stood out to you or impacted you or related to you in some way.
I can go first. Hi, this is Carissa. I was really like, well, welcome everybody, you know, my other classmates. I think you guys did a great job with your presentations and I love all of your stories. I really love the nursing, like my nurses out there, like, cause you know, you guys are on the front line and, you know, I have a lot of family that are nurses and I think it's an awesome major to get into. And it's something that you guys, you know, many people like myself, I wish I had the heart to do it. So I really, really, really appreciate that. And I think somebody else was a physiology major or something like that.
Philosophy, yes.
Philosophy major. I'm like I think when I was like way back when I first started college, like that was like one of the things that people would do. And it's so good to hear that that's something different that people are doing. Like you normally hear nurses, doctors, you hear a lot of social work majors now. So I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Like I'm gonna look into that. Like I've never like, I'm like, what? I have heard of it a long time ago, but not recently. So it's definitely something that I'm gonna like read up on, seriously.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
I am Karen. I really liked everybody's story, and you all sound like you're gonna just do amazing in life, and I just can tell that you all have a lot of drive and dedication. So I salute you all. Something that really stood out to me is Michael, I believe, the math major. I'm going into finance, so I have to take a lot of math classes as well. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, math is pretty adventurous. It's not necessarily friendly to everybody that does it, even if it's just related to your
Yeah, I
major.
just like
It
that
can-
there's a wrong or right answer versus, you know, English, like a philosophy major. You have to write a lot of essays, I'm sure. And I'm not good at writing essays, to be honest.
that's my one weakness as well. Is I
So
am inherently in
guys-
writer's block.
yeah.
I really liked, hi, I'm just so sorry. I really liked, I think it was Kiana that mentioned that she's taken some classes that don't apply to her major anymore. I feel like we can all relate to that. And yeah, guided pathways, I think would definitely be beneficial for anybody taking classes there. And I really liked everyone's presentation overall. Like everybody's story that they shared was so unique and individual, but all relatable at the same time.
Thank you.
I found myself relating to what Michael said about how, oh no. Oh, sorry. About how a professor really makes a difference. Like that's how I ended up choosing my major. I just had a ton of fantastic professors, I feel like.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely relate to that. Like your professors can really like make or break your college experience. Like I definitely agree with that.
Kiana, you mentioned Professor Mayak. I actually had him for Philosophy 1 at West. It was like right before COVID, the semester before I think things had shut down. I had him, and it was an incredible class. He got me really excited about just concepts I'd never thought of before.
Right. He is like really great. 5 stars to him. Was that all of our audience members? I don't have the gallery view.
I have a question. What's the name of your presentation?
Hmm.
That's a
Oh.
good question. I think we just called it major presentation 2.
Okay. Would you guys mind putting your names in the chat?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
do that. Oh my gosh. Wait, can you guys still see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, I'll do it. Like 1 moment when we wrap up the presentation. Naya, do you want to just conclude real quickly and then we can put our names in the chat?
Yeah. So yeah, this presentation relates to everybody by the guided pathways. You know, everyone has their own little paths and every little step of it helps someone individually. You know, you never know, especially with the teachers helping people choose their majors and, you know, the general education. Yeah, I feel like it applies to everyone's college experience as well. It's part of it. Yeah, that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Good job, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm gonna end the recording.